Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Steven. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to create a custom header and footer for your Elementor website using the new Flexbox container. It's so much easier to create a custom header and footer for your website using the new Flexbox container compared to using sections and columns. Let me show you what we're going to be creating today. And the plugin that we're going to be using today is completely free. You don't need Elementor Pro for this tutorial, so I'll be showing you how to create all this using free tool. So this is the header that we're going to be creating today. You can see here that we have a header, and if we go to the services page here, you can see that we have a different header. So that basically means you can assign different header to a specific page if you want. And if you scroll down here to the footer, you can see that we have a different footer here. If we go back to the home page, you can also see that we have a different footer here as well. So you can assign different header and footer to any page on your website if you want. And also if you look at the header that we created here, you can see that once we start scrolling on the website, the header will become sticky. And you can see that the sticky header is different from the main header. If I scroll up here, you can see what the main header looks like. Once I start scrolling, you can see what the sticky header looks like. So I'll be showing you how to create this for free in this video. In another video, I will also be showing you how to create a custom archive page for your blog post using a free plugin. You don't need Elementor Pro for this. This is a custom blog post that we have for this website. If I click on any of the posts, you can see that we also have a custom single post right here, and we are doing all this using a free plugin. So if all this sounds interesting, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you need to do is to log into your WordPress website. So I've gone ahead and logged into the same WordPress website that I was just showing you guys. You can see this is my dashboard right here, and you can see that we have this plugin called X Pro Elementor add-on. If I hover over it and click on the theme builder, you can see all the custom templates that we have that we're using for our website. You can see we have a header for the services page, and we also have a different footer for the services page. And here we have the main footer and we have the main header as well. So this is the plugin that we're going to be using in this video to achieve this result. I know there's a lot of other plugins out there that you can use to create custom header and footer, but they're not as powerful as this plugin. So all you have to do is to click on plugins, click on add new, and then from here go ahead and type X Pro Elementor add-on. So let's just type X Pro. You can see that the plugin doesn't have that much active installation, but it's a really good plugin. So I went ahead and tried it out, and I love what this plugin can do. So go ahead and install the free version of the plugin, which is this one right here, and then go ahead and also install the theme builder for the same plugin. Once you install both of them, go ahead and activate it, and then after that you are going to see this new option right here, X Pro add-ons. You can see they have a lot of things here, including ChatGPT AI that you can integrate on your website, but the one that we're going to be using today is their theme builder option right here. So go ahead and click on theme builder, and then from here you're not going to have any custom template here. Don't worry about mine because I already created this once as an example. So all you have to do is to click on add new, and then give your template a name. So let's say in this case we're creating a header template, so I'll call this one sample header template. So we have the sample header here. You need to decide the type of template you want to create. So here they have multiple options. We're going to select the header, and then do you want this header to be sticky? Obviously, if you want it to be sticky like the example that I showed you guys, you're going to select sticky option here. You're going to enable that, and then where do you want to display this header? If you want to display it on your entire website, you're going to select entire website. If you want to display it on a specific page or a singular or archive page, you're going to select that particular one. In this tutorial, we're just going to display it on a single page since we already have some header here, but in your case, you can just go ahead and select the entire website. So for example, I'm going to display this for the About Us page. Right now, you can see we have the general header for our About Us page. I'm going to display mine for the About Us page. I will go here and scroll down all the way to the bottom, and then I will select a specific target. This is where you can target your pages, your posts, and any taxonomy that you have on your website. I will select that, and then here I will select the About Us page. So go ahead and search for the page, and here you can see the About Us page. I will select that, and then if you want to add other rules, you can go ahead and add display rule here, and you see the same option that we had before. You can add more rule to this particular template, or if you want to exclude something, you can go ahead and add an exclusion rule, and you will also see the same option to exclude something from the template. But in this case, we're not going to be using any of these options. I'll go ahead and close this and also delete this one as well. And then the user role, we want to display this for all user roles, so go ahead and select all and click on publish over here. Now let's go back to the About Us page and check if the template that we just applied is working. So let's go ahead and click on the About. Now you can see that we don't have any header here, and that's because we just applied that template and we haven't added anything on the template yet. So now let's go back here and click edit with Elementor. So to start the layout for your header, you need to decide what you're going to include in that header. For example, if you're going to have a button, if you're going to have a menu and then have a logo. So once you decide everything that you're going to include in the header, then you will know the kind of layout that you're going to use to achieve that. So maybe you can sketch out what your header is going to look like. Then you can follow that sketch to grade the layout of your header, so it will be a lot easier for you to add content or elements inside that layout. So for this tutorial, we'll go ahead and take inspiration from Elementor's website, since we are using Elementor anyways. So we'll go to their website and see what the header looks like, and then we can take some inspiration from there and maybe use the same layout to grade our own header. So let's go to Elementor's official website. You can see what they have here. They have the logo here, and then they have the menu item, and over here they have a button, and they also have a login option right here. So maybe for our own website we don't need the login option, but we need this button right here. We can go ahead and grade something like that. So now we know the layout that we're working with. So what we have to do is to go here and select that layout. So now we need this layout because here we are going to have the button inside this one, and then over here we are going to have the menu and also the logo as well. So once we select that, you can select the entire section and go here and reverse the column to have the small one over here. So the good thing about X-Pro Elementor add-on is that they have all these Elementor widgets that you're going to need when you are creating your header. So they have everything for you. You can see here that we have site logo by X-Pro. You can see X-Pro icon right here on the side. Let's grab that and drop it here. And then we need to grab menu as well. So we type menu. You can see the horizontal navigation menu right here by X-Pro. Let's go ahead and grab that as well and drop it right here. So for the site logo, go ahead and select the site logo. And then over here we'll go ahead and select custom option and select the logo that we're going to be using. So let's select this logo right here. So now remember, we're using containers. So because we're using containers, we are working in directions, right? So what you have to do is to select this inner container, because over here we have the main container, which is the parent container, and then we have a child container, which is the inner container. So we have one inner container here and we have another inner container here as well. So you select the first inner container and then go here and change the direction. So in this case, we want to change this to horizontal direction so that the logo and the menu will be side by side. So right now you can see that this particular container is currently set to 66% over here. We can change this to maybe 70%, and then we can make the logo a little bit smaller. We go to styling and then we can change this width of the logo, and then over here select the menu pencil icon, and here you can come and select your menu. Right now I have only one menu. Just in case if you have multiple menus, this is where you select the menu that you want to display. And then over here you can see the parent container. We currently have it to box. We're going to make this full width to expand it like this if that's what you want. If not, or you can even put it on boxed and then change this to maybe 1320, something like this. So go ahead and play around with the size to get the exact size that you want. So for us to see what we're working with, I'll go ahead and give this parent container a background color. So I'll go to color here and select a background color. Maybe I'll give this one black color maybe. So we have a black color, and let's select the menu and change the color to white so that we can see it. So we change the text color to white. So the menu is a little bit too wide. So let's select the parent container and go to the advanced tab, and then we're going to put 0 for the padding. And now let's also select the inner container, which is the child container right here, and then go to advanced and put 0 inside the padding as well. We add 0 here, and then select this one and also add 0 in there as well. So you can see that it's a lot smaller right now. And now let's select the inner container for the first one again, and then go back here to layout, and then under the layout here we can decide how we want to lay out the entire thing. We can make all of them to stay in the middle like this, just like that, by selecting this center align items right here, and then we can decide the gap between the two items. You can see the gap, maybe we put 10 here for now. And then over here we need a button. Let's go ahead and grab a button. I'll grab this X-Pro button right here, and drop it over here, you can see our menu has become a lot smaller. So you select the button, and then over here on the button text, you can put whatever you want on the button. For example, over here we have get started in capital letter. Maybe we can do something like that. Or if you check one of our examples, if we go back to the services page here, you can see that we have the same button, but we have a phone number. Instead, if you click on the phone number, it will pop up for you to make a call. So that's what we have inside this one. So you can do something like that, or however you want to structure your own button. So let's go back here and do the same thing. Let's just do get started, and here you can add the button link. Maybe we want to send this to the contact. We type contact here and then select our contact page. So now select the inner container again for this particular one that have the button, and then go to layout. Inside here for align items, go ahead and select end, because we want to align this all the way to the end over here. And now we're going to change the text color for the button. So select the button again, go to styling, and then over here we're going to change the text color. Let's make it white. And then typography, let's go ahead and make this all cap. So we transform this to uppercase. So now you can see that we have get started, and then the next thing we need to do is to add some padding inside. If you look at the example that we are using, you can see the amount of padding that they have inside here. So we come back here and we have the padding option here under the styling option. You can go ahead and add padding in here. Maybe we can add something like this. Maybe we can unlink this so that we can do 35 on the top and then 35 for the bottom, and then maybe for left we need to do 45, and then right we can also do 45 as well. And now we have this small space right here at the bottom, We don't want that. We can go ahead and select the button and then go to advanced, and then we can add a negative margin here at the bottom, something like this, -8. And if I close this, you can see that this is looking good so far. And we also don't want the rounded corners that we have on the button. If you go here, we don't have any rounded corners. So let's go back to styling, and over here we have the border radius. Let's go ahead and put 0 in there. So now we don't have any rounded corners. And then the next thing we need to do is to move this all the way to the end. So if you're creating a full width header like this, for example, if you see this one that we created over here, we move this one all the way to the edge, and then here we have this one aligned with our content over here. But if you want it all the way to the end, just like we have here with Elementor, all you have to do, change the parent container. We change the parent container to full width like this, and then we'll have a full width header, and then change this to 100%. Now we have a 100% full width. You have this all the way to the end. You have your button all the way to the edge, just like we have over here with Elementor. And then all you have to do is come in here and add some spacing right here. And to do that, you select your inner container, which is this one right here, and then go in here and add some spacing. We're going to add spacing around it. We're going to add spacing all around here like this, or you can add spacing between like this, or you can even add even spacing around it, but we're just going to use this one, spacing around, which is going to look like this, and this is looking a lot nicer. And then you can see what they have here is just a hover effect, that once you hover over the menu item, it will change color to a different color. You can do something like that as well. We come back here, you go ahead and select your menu item, and then come over here. We have the normal color as white, and then you can change the active color to whatever you want. So I will use the accent color as the active color, and then the hover color, I will also use the accent color as well. So once you hover over the text, you are going to see this color. And then here you can choose the layout for your menu. For example, if you use this focus lens, it's going to show something like this, or maybe if you use a push right, it will show something like this once you're hovering. So these are all the animations that you can add to your menu, because over here we are using this one. If you want to use the same one, you can go ahead and use this sweep to right or sweep to top. So sweep to top, it will come up like this. So that's what we're using for the example that I showed you guys earlier. Okay, so that's pretty much how you can create a custom header, but you need to make your header responsive as well. So if we go to this responsive mode right here and click on tablet, you can see that our header is also looking good on tablet as well. If you click on this hamburger icon right here, your menu will pop out like this. Let's go to the mobile version as well. you can see on the mobile version, the menu is not looking all that good. One thing you can do is to make this button full width, so you can have the button all the way full width. But let's see what Elementor did with their own. So let's go ahead and minimize this. So with Elementor, you can see right here what they did is that they hide the button. Now when you click on this, the menu will pop out, so they don't have the button anymore. So if you want to hide the button, you can go ahead and do that, because that's really easy to do. All you have to do is to select the second container, which is the inner container, and then click on Advanced, scroll down to responsive mode and click on hide on mobile. And now if you minimize like this, you can see that we don't have that button anymore. You can go ahead and add in some spacing in here for this one to look nice. You can select this container and then go in here and add some spacing. Maybe we can add 10 pixels on the top and then 10 at the bottom as well. So you can see that this is looking nice so far. If you click on this site logo icon right here, you can see that this is not really in the middle. So what we have to do is maybe add some negative margin here at the bottom as well. So add some negative margin to bring that down. So 8 is fine. And you can see that that's looking really nice. And over here, you see what we have over here, the logo, we have the hamburger menu right here, and we also have the button right here as well. If you want to do something like that, it's very easy to do. So all you have to do is come back here, select the hidden container, go ahead and show the container again. Now we have the container. If you select this container, you can see that the width is 100%. Let's go ahead and change that to maybe 55%. You can see it looks really weird because this is currently on pixels. So let's change this to percent. 55%, we'll change that to 55% like this, and then this container will change this one to 40%, change this to percentage, and then change this to 40. So now you can see that we have that container in here. All we have to do now is to make it look nice. So the width right here, you can see that we have it on percentage, but let's go ahead and change this to pixels so we can actually move it around. So something like this, maybe 120 pixels, which is looking really nice. So now all we have to do is to select the button and then go ahead and reduce the padding that we have inside. So go ahead and unlink this, and then inside here we want to add maybe 15 pixels on the right, and then maybe 15 pixels on the left, and then on the top we want to add maybe 30 pixels, and then at the bottom we can add 30 pixels as well. So you can see what we have, and this is looking really nice. If you go to the tablet, we'll still have a nice menu right here. So that's pretty much it. Now you can go ahead and play around with other settings that we have in there. Like if you click on the menu icon and then go inside the menu, you can play around with the colors, the hover color. You can go to the sub menu. For example, if you go to your sub menu, we have a sub menu here for the portfolio. You can choose the active color for that sub menu and also the background color. Maybe you want the background color to be white. For example, you select white, and now the background color is white, and then maybe the normal color will be this accent color, and now the normal color is the accent color, and then the hover color will be maybe the secondary color. So this is just normal Elementor stuff. You go ahead and play around with all the settings to your liking. Once you are satisfied with that, you can go ahead and click on save changes. And now one more thing we need to work on is the sticky menu. For example, if you go back here and scroll up, you can see that we have a different background for the sticky menu. If you want to do that, all you have to do is to select the main container, which is the parent container, and then go to Advanced tab, and then scroll down here to Header Sticky by Xpro, and then go ahead and change the background color for the sticky menu. So maybe you want the background color to be something else. I don't know, maybe you want it to be this blue color right here. Go ahead and click on the update button. It's not going to show here because you have to be able to scroll on the page to see it. So what you have to do is to go here. We're currently creating this menu for the About Us page. If we select the About Us page, you can see the menu that we have, and it's looking really nice. But if we start scrolling here, now you can see that we have a blue sticky menu that is going to pop up and remain sticky on the page while we keep scrolling on the page. And this is how you can create a custom menu for free in Elementor. So let's go ahead and follow the same process and create a custom footer for your website. So now what we have to do is click on this button right here and then click exit. Go ahead and click update over here and go back to the theme builder. Now let's go ahead and add a new template. So this time we are creating a sample footer template. what type of template are we creating? Go ahead and select the footer, and then where do you want to display this? We also want to display this on the About Us page. So go ahead and select the target specific page, and then select About Us, select all user roles, and then go ahead and publish this. So now go ahead and click on Edit with Elementor. So basically the same thing applies to your footer. Go ahead and decide the type of layout you want to have for your footer. If we go to the Elementor website that we are using as reference, or maybe for inspiration, I'm not saying you should copy someone else's website, but we're using this as an inspiration, or maybe to see how we want to lay out our website. You can see here that they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 5 containers inside the parent container to be able to align these items like this. You probably don't have this much on your website. You can see here that they have a lot on the footer that people can click on to go to a specific section of the website. So let's say, for example, for this sample footer that we have here, you can see that we have 4 different sections. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then over here we have a call to action button that people can click to get started. So for this tutorial, I will show you how to regrade this particular footer that I have here. So the first thing is to figure out what the layout is. So here we have the parent container. So let's go ahead and add one parent container like this. And then inside our parent container, we have 2 other child container, which is inner containers, which is the one that we are using for the call to action button and the one that we are using for all of this information that we have here. So let's go ahead and add that. So we'll go over here and grab a container and drop it here, and then grab another container and drop it here. This one is going to be used for the call to action button. And then now, depending on how many sections you want to have inside this container, we're going to grab another container and put it inside the second inner container. So let's go ahead and grab another container and drop it inside this one, and we're going to duplicate this maybe into 3. For example, we're going to use 3 or 4. Let's just do 3 for now. And now let's select the parent container for this inner container, and I'll go here and change the direction to something like this. So what we need to do now is to go ahead and add the information that we have over here. I will copy this, and then we have a button here. I'll grab a text module or maybe a heading module. I'll grab a heading module right here, and then I will paste the text in here, something like that. And then this is already on H2. Maybe you can change that to H3. And then let's go ahead and grab a button. I'm not going to customize any of this button. We already have a custom button right here. You can actually do the same thing after you customize a button. Like for example, how we customize that button for the heading. You can go ahead and right click on the button and then save that design as your default. I did that for all my buttons so that every time I grab a new button, it will have the same design, so I don't have to do it again. So the option to do that is right here. So I already have a button here. All I have to do is to go ahead and change the text on the button. So I will change this to get started, and then I will go here to typography. I will transform this to uppercase, and now I will select the parent container for these 2 items. If you don't know which one you are selecting, you can go ahead and click on this navigator button right here, and then you can see all the containers right here. You can actually go ahead and rename it if you want. Double click on it, and then you can rename it. I actually like renaming them so that it will be easy for someone else to edit the website. So I will call this one call to action. So once you rename it like this, it will be easier for someone else to edit your website, so they know exactly what they're clicking on. So now I know that I'm working on this call to action. I will click on that, and now inside that container I have the heading and I also have the button as well. So once you select that particular container, call to action container, we can go here and change the direction to horizontal direction like this, and now we need to put space in between the 2 of them. So we select this one right here. So that's how you can achieve that. And now let's go ahead and add all the information that we need inside here. So you can add pretty much anything that you want in here. For my case, I will add the site logo. I will add that in here, then select custom, go ahead and select the site logo. I will change the size and reduce that to something like this maybe, and then I will add the text module. We have all that information there already. I will leave it like that. Let's go back here. What else do we have? We have the contact button right here. So here, let's search for header. So in this case, we are using the X Pro heading. So the X Pro heading will give you option to do something similar to what we have here. So from here, what I'm going to do is I will skip the title before. In the middle, I'll type call in here, and then over here I'll put the phone number, and then for the HTML tag, you can go ahead and select whichever one you want. I will select the heading 5, and then you can align this to the right or to the left. I will align mine to the left. So once you add that, you have the option to customize the title, you have the option to customize the center title. So go ahead and play around with it. It's pretty much the same process. If you know how to use Elementor, it's the same thing. If you don't know how to use Elementor, you can go ahead and check my Elementor basics for beginners. It will show you everything, but for this video, I'll go ahead and duplicate this one. Now we have two of them, just like we have over here. You can go ahead and add your email and then go back here and customize it to your liking. For example, I can go ahead and change the color right here to a different color. Maybe I'll change this one to the accent color like this, and then you can play around with the border radius right here and then add some padding in there, something like this. You get the idea. You can see how we use the border radius and also the padding to create some kind of design here for this one. So you can go ahead and play around with that over here if you want. The border radius, if we remove the bottom and then also remove the top and then make this one 15 and then make the right 15 as well. Now you can see that we have a similar design to what we have here, something like this. You can see change the main color, maybe you can change that to white, and then you can actually copy this design and paste it right here, paste style. Now you have the same style. So that's how we achieve that design. So now moving on, we can go ahead and grab this. We are using the same design over here. We can go ahead and grab the same design, we copy it and then paste it over here. So now what we have to do is to change this one to quick links. So once you have that, now we have our title. Obviously you don't need to have a background there. We can go back here and remove the background. You scroll down to the center text, we can remove the background like this and then change the color to maybe something like this. And now we can go ahead and add some border type. We go ahead and select solid. So that's looking nice. And now we can go ahead and reduce the padding. Maybe we make this button, we make the bottom padding to be 5 and also make the top padding to be 5 as well. Something like that. So once you have that design, you can go ahead and copy it and paste it here as well. And then this one is going to be our pages. Let's go here and type our pages. Over here we have the quick links and we're going to copy all the quick links that we have on this page. So from here we're using the list tab. Let's go back to our design and let's look for the list. So let's go ahead and use the X-Pro info list. Let's grab that and drop it here. So once you have your info list, you can go ahead and add all the information that you need for your footer. Over here we have the privacy policy, the disclaimer, terms of condition. So once you add all that, you can go ahead and copy the same style that we already designed over here, copy it and paste it to our pages, and then go ahead and link all your pages to this particular one. And that's how we achieved this design over here. And you can see behind the design we have a background image and some kind of overlay. So if you want to achieve something like that, all you have to do is to select the parent container. You know that we have 2 or 3 containers inside the parent container. So you select the parent container and you go to the styling tab, click on the background type over here, and then go ahead and select the image that you want to use for your background. In this case, we're going to be using this image that I already created. So now we have our image. Let's go ahead and add some overlay and then select the parent container and then go to the background overlay. So select the color that you want to use for your overlay. In this case, I'll be using a black color. So I'll go ahead and select our black color here and then go ahead and increase the opacity to something like this maybe, so that you can still see the image behind the background and also be able to see the text that we're working with. And make sure that once you are doing all your footer layout like this, you need to make sure that you use color that is going to blend very well with your background image as well. You can see that the colors that we're using right now is not really good compared to the colors that we're using over here. So maybe you can actually use like white colors over here, if you get what I mean. Let's go ahead and change this call to action to a white color, for example. So once you change this to white, you can see that it's looking a lot better. And then over here, you can see that we have some spacing in between the call to action and also the line that we have here. So what you have to do is come here and select the inner container that we have here, the child container. And then inside that container, you can go to advanced tab and add some spacing in here. Maybe we can add 50 pixels on the top, also 25 pixels at the bottom, something like this. And then go to styling tab and then go ahead and click on the border type. We're going to add a solid border at the bottom only. So go ahead and unlink this and then select the bottom part and add 1 pixel. And then go ahead and select the color for your border. I will select a white color here. So now we have something like this. Let's go ahead and fade the white color a little bit because it's too bright. So select the color and then go ahead and reduce the opacity like this. So now you can see that our footer is looking a lot better. And then over here, if you want to add the copyright section that we have over here, all you have to do is to go ahead and add another section. So go ahead and select a 2 colon section here. So let's go ahead ahead and select this one. Actually, because we are using the containers, we actually don't need two sections in here. Let's go ahead and delete one of the sections. So all we need to do now is to go ahead and add a text module in here. So let's copy the text module that we already have here. Let's duplicate that and grab one of it and drop it right here in the middle. So now let's go ahead and paste our copyright information. We have the copyright information right here. Now let's duplicate this, and now let's go and copy the other information. So we have this template graded by whatever. You can go ahead and add your own information over there, and let's go ahead and paste the information here as well. So now let's select the main container, and then over here we want to add space in between. So you add space in between all like this, and then you can also make this full width if you want it to be full width, just like the header to look like this, or if you want it to be like this footer right here. But for this one, I'm going to leave my own boxed instead of full width, and it will look something like this. So let's go ahead and give it a background color. Maybe we can give it a black background color. Now let's make sure that everything is aligned to the middle. So select the parent container, go to the layout and select the align item and make sure it's at the center like this. So I want to go here and remove the padding that we have over here, and then I will add some top padding, maybe 10 pixels, something like this, and you can see it's looking really nice. And then over here you can see that we have this 10 pixels in here that we don't want. So select the child container for this inner container. So you select this container and then go here and remove this spacing in here. So we also need some spacing in here to give some breathing room between these items that we have here and this copyright item here. So go ahead and select the inner container right here, and then go ahead and add some bottom padding here. Maybe add 25 pixels or 50 pixels actually is better. And then over here on the top, we can add 25 pixels as well. So that's pretty much how you can create a custom header and footer for your Elementor website. So now let's go back to the About Us page where we actually apply the header and footer to see them in action. So let's go ahead and refresh this page. If you scroll down now, you can see that we have a custom footer here as well. Just to actually show you that that is the footer, we are going to go ahead and give this a different color for the overlay. Maybe we can give this the secondary color overlay like this. It doesn't look nice, but just to show you that it's actually working. So let's go ahead and refresh the About Us page again. Now you can see the custom footer right here, and then scroll up, you can also see the custom header as well. So this is how you can create a custom header and footer for your website. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.